Hello and welcome everybody to Game 2 of Hero vs. Polt. Spawning in the bottom left position as the red Protoss, playing from Team Liquid, we have Hero. His opponent spawning in the top right position as the blue Terran from Team SCV Life, we have Polt. So Game 2 is going to be here on GSL Daybreak. This is going to be a best of 3, and Polt took Game 1, so that means if Polt is gonna take Game 2, well, he's gonna be moving on to the round of 4. So we're gonna have to see if he's gonna be able to do it, or whether Hero is going to be able to take Game 2 and push it to a Game 3. Now, options for LiquidHerO at this point in time. There are so many things he could possibly do in this matchup. Protoss players have been experimenting a lot lately with lots of expanding. Something that we've been seeing from a lot of Korean players lately is fast 3 bases. This is something that's becoming really popular among some of the top Korean players. It looks kind of unusual when you do it, and when I first started to see it, I was like, I didn't like it at all, just because it felt really unsafe. It just felt so unsafe to try to take a fast 3 base. It felt really spread out, but these players are just so good now at getting reads on their opponent and noticing and figuring out what their opponents are doing and what kind of attack timings are viable, and figuring out exactly what they need to be able to defend that many bases pretty early in the game. And it's actually really strong to try to hold, because a lot of players will just get 3 bases, almost like a Zerg does. They'll get up 3 bases, but they'll get up lots of gateways and almost no units. But they'll have lots of gateways, so that if their opponent does decide to try to attack them, then they just warp in a ton of units, and now they're sitting on 3 bases, and they're just super safe. Looks like Polt is going to be going for a very fast expansion off of no barracks at all. He's just going supply depot right immediately into command center, and Hero's going to be scouting that, so it looks like Hero's going to be following up with the same. He has absolutely no gateway out. Pylon straight into Nexus. Now we do see that the gateway is going down here for LiquidHerO. So both players going to be playing a little bit more macro oriented in the early game. Both players not going for any kind of early attacks. So we can expect a little bit more of a macro game anyway, and it looks like Polt is going to be throwing down another barracks. Is he going to be throwing down a third as well? Or will he be just sitting on 2 this time? I'll actually be really curious if he just sits on 2, just because, like I said, in Game 1, it can make a huge difference. Having going for this fast expansion, it makes you very vulnerable in the early game. And does Polt actually know about that fast expansion? No, Polt has not scouted at all this game. He has no idea what his opponent is doing right now. There could be there could just be a 4-gate coming right now, and Polt would have absolutely no idea that it's coming. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he's only going for 2 barracks. But then again, Polt is the pro, and I am not. If Polt thinks he can hold off everything with 2 barracks, then you know what? I'm kind of inclined to believe him, because he is just absolute monster at StarCraft 2. Cybernetic score now coming down here for Liquid's Hero. More and more probes just coming up at this point. Both players just playing very economically right now. Both players not trying to go for any kind of early attacks, but it looks like Hero getting up a 2nd gas right now, not yet taking a 3rd or 4th. Options for Hero, he could potentially go for some kind of big warp gate timing right now. That's something that we see a lot off of these kind of 2 base plays. A lot of Protoss players have a lot of different styles of early gateway attacks that are really strong on 2 base. MC is known for having like brutally strong 2 base timing attacks against Terran, where he will just throw down that 2nd base, know exactly how many probes he wants to get, whether he wants 3 gas, whether he wants 4 gas, or whether he just wants minerals at his natural expansion, and whether he wants it fully saturated, just under fully saturated, and then just throws up a big number of gateways and attacks with a very specific unit composition depending on what he sees. That's just absolutely brutal to deal with. I would say that MC is probably one of the best Protoss players in the world when it comes to attack timings and realizing these kind of very specific timing windows where he just, I don't know how he does it. He reads into his opponent with such specific attack timings that are just so sharp and so strong that they often just win on 2 base so often, and he's just so ridiculously good. Looks like we might have some kind of a gateway timing coming here from LiquidHerO. He is now just throwing down an immediate 4 warp gates upon seeing the marine count of his opponent, and sees that his opponent is being a little bit more defensive right now. So I think he is actually going to go for some kind of a big warp gate timing, as he is now starting to throw down the pylons in the forward position. We do see one now going down. Looks like he's gearing up to throw up a second as well. Yeah, looks like he's just going to be spotting them all the way along here, and this is always a good move by Protoss players. If you're going for this early kind of attack, or an attack at any point in the game really, you want to throw down pylons kind of in a row so that you can always have a path to warp in. You don't want to just throw up that one pylon right, like, outside of his base here or here, and then just hope that that pylon survives. You want to be able to fall back, and as you fall back, be able to warp in units at your farther and farther back pylon, so that you can kind of defend and you can continue to reinforce, and you don't just have your armies stranded out there just because you lost your pylon in a forward position. So now we do have the third pylon now going down here for LiquidHerO, as it looks like this is going to be some kind of an attack timing. Notice he has taken his third gas, and he is fully saturated on minerals. No more probes being produced at all right now, so he is really looking for this to do a whole lot of damage. And it looks like lots of units now being warped in by Hero, lots and lots of stalkers, a small number of zealots to absorb damage, and a good number of sentries for their force fields. Force fields need to go down around this bunker so that he cannot repair it, and as we can see, that is how exactly those are going down. A lot of SCVs are going to be lost here, but the forces of Polt are actually pretty big. There are quite a good number of Marines and Marauders here. Nice force fields going down, but Polt is actually managing to get through him quite a bit, has a lot of SCVs here to soak up the damage, and he's continuing to push forward with lots of Marine Marauder right now. These are currently 0-0 in upgrades, and Hero trying to get more forces up into the up onto here, taking down a lot of SCVs. I really like this from Hero, getting a lot of damage done right now, but keep in mind, Polt can stand to lose SCVs because his opponent is not actually building a whole lot of probes there. He stopped probe production for a while. As you can see, he's now resuming probe production just because that attack did not work so well, so he knows he needs to immediately snap back into a macro mode. So that's exactly what he's doing. It looks like he's going to be taking a fourth base, and oh, it looks like Polt is actually going to know the moment he does it, or a third base rather. He's going to take his third, and now we do see instantly the double forge going down. Attack didn't work. We're now going to start teching and going for economy right away off the bat. Notice no more units really being warped in anywhere at all. Oh, I could be wrong. Is Hero actually going to continue this attack? I actually don't like this decision here from Hero, as now Polt has a good number of Marine and Marine Marauder up right now. They do have combat shield completed. Concussive shell is on the way, going to be done here very soon. Stim is completed as well, so I don't think this attack is going to be very effective. So I don't like this choice from Hero to try to go for this pressure anymore. I feel like after that attack was done, that was a very specific attack timing that he went for, and now from here on out, Polt is just going to be getting up tons and tons of bioforces, and it's going to be really hard for Hero to break. So I think Hero needs to stop warping in units, get up more and more tech, and as you can see, that's exactly what he is doing. Notice the double forge is now up, researching his +1/+1. Needs to be taking more bases, needs to go back to playing defensive and very economic. Looks like he is getting ready for drops, as stalkers are now going down at the back of the main, but it looks like drops aren't quite on the menu so far for Polt, as we do have the first couple of medevacs about to pop out, but no drops are going to be on the way quite yet, though it is possible that once those two medevacs are out, Polt goes for an immediate drop to try to put some pressure back onto his opponent, and will he load him up? Looks like no, he's actually just going to be moving out. The scout factory is moving forward, as one probe from Hero is going to come in here and try to get some good scouting information. Not going to see too much. The probe does go down, and now the third is being thrown down right now by LiquidHerO. That, after seeing that no third base went down here for Polt. So Hero right now, he needs to defend. He needs to play defensive. He needs to get up more units, because as we can see, Polt is now moving out right now with a good number of Marine and Marauder, and his first two medevacs, another two are going to be on the way here, so he is going to hit with 4 medevacs, and that's going to be pretty strong here. Hero's going to need to get up a lot of forces to be able to defend against this. Nice force fields are going to have to go down to really be able to defend against this. He is now +1/+1. Blink research is actually on the way, which is very, very interesting considering the high charge lot numbers here from Hero. He did go for a lot of stalkers though this game, interestingly enough, which is very different from his past games. Very high number of zealots as well. So this is going to be an interesting composition that I'm going to be very curious to know if does well. Now, Polt is going to be loading up 4 medevacs right now, going to be going for a big drop in the main, and the army from Hero is a little bit out of position, but look at this brilliant play from Hero. The moment he sees that pressure let up, leaves the Zealots and Sentries there, moves the Stalkers up here just in case his opponent decides to go for drops, and will he scout those? He does have Blink ready, so he can Blink, and yes, beautiful Blink from Hero as he manages to take out a whole lot of those medevacs, but a lot of the units did get out. It looks like the Polt did actually manage to snipe down the Nexus here, but it looks like Hero going to be able to do a lot of damage. But now Hero rather going to be forced to warp in more units here at the main because this drop is actually doing quite a bit of damage. The Stalkers did take those medevacs out pretty quick, but not quick enough as that was just a really big drop there. And it looks like more forces are continuing to stream forward here from Polt as he's continuing to do more and more damage out at the natural expansion. This drop finally almost cleaned up, and oh no, Hero actually deciding to pull back, leaving those 2 medevacs, bringing all his units to the front of the line, and oh no, that was actually a mistake by Hero. These Marauders get a lot more probe kills than they really should have gotten, and they are finally going to get cleaned up, but now the forces of Polt are in the natural expansion of LiquidHerO. They're focusing down these Archons, which are all alone. Archons generally do not do that well when they are on their own. They need lots of gateway units to help them out, and now Polt is going to be focusing down this Forge. Will he stop that +2 ground armor from going down? Hero really needs that at this point in time. He's invested resources early on in getting these upgrades, and oh, the +2 attack upgrade goes down. Hero now frantically trying to get up more and more forces as quickly as he can, but Polt is just continuing to stream in more and more forces across the map, once again just drilling his opponent now that he knows he's forced to cancel. This is so standard, you guys. This is so ridiculously smart. This is so smart from Polt. It's such a simple idea. Deny an expansion the moment you know you've gained an advantage. I have a third base, you don't have a third base. Drill, non-stop. Send units at your opponent, force trades. He does this every single game. This is just like his style. Like, he goes for a big attack, does something like tries to force a cancel on a Nexus or destroys a Nexus to get ahead economically, and then just non-stop aggression. Constant aggression, and Hero is going to GG out of Game 2, leaving Polt to take the series 2-0. Such smart play from Polt. This guy is so good, you guys. It is unbelievable how good Polt is. Taking out Hero in a 2-0 sweep. Hope you guys enjoyed that series. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. Please comment down below. Let me know what I can do to make these casts better for you as I continue to bring more content to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. GLiTCH out.